Hi friends, let's check out how to make a sticky nav and footer while keeping everything in auto layout. So today we'll be creating this. It's got a sticky header and look at this guy's stick. And this guy will cover that and he'll stick, and the footer is also stuck too. So sticky on sticky on sticky. Let's get into it. The one thing that I wanted to call out for you before we get going is this is all in auto layout. If I turn some of these tiles off, or the little cards, you can see everything respond. So we get the benefit of the stickiness as well as auto layout. Here we are. If I twirl this down, you can see that everything is in auto layout. I want to take care of the header first. That is 92 pixels high. That is important. I'm going to use absolute position. Boom. It takes it out of the flow, but all I need to do is add in that 92 pixels here. Grab my header and set it to the top. It's pinned to the top with the constraints. Left and right, I'm good to go. I'm going to do the exact same thing with the footer. The little app nav here is 80 pixels high. I'm going to use absolute position. I'm going to grab the frame, adjust the padding, bring this to the bottom, constrain it to the bottom, constrain it to left and right, and let's check it out. So this is not working. Why is it not working? The reason why it's not working is because we need to go into prototype and set this to fixed or stay in place. We also need to do that with the footer. And there we go. It's working exactly like we wanted to. But what about these subheads that move along with it and then stick? If you're thinking it has to do with absolute position, you are absolutely correct. That's a solid dad joke right there. I'm gonna hit absolute position. I also need space for it within this flow. So I'm just gonna click in and set my spacer to 96. The reason why I'm gonna set it to 96 is these subheads are 64 pixels high and I want 16 pixels of padding on each side. So again, grabbing the spacer, 96. I'm gonna do the same thing below. So now we have space for the subheads, and move this 16 pixels of padding above and below here, and 16 pixels of padding above and below there. It just snaps to the center of the spacer. That's kind of how I knew that. So now that these are set up and we're centered, let's check it out. That's a problem, right? Absolute position. And just like the last time, we need to go into prototype. I'm gonna select both of them, and I'm gonna set it to sticky stop at top edge. Now we'll check it out. And again, it's almost working exactly as we want it to. So this is a good thing to note. We have to note that the fixed position is always going to be a level higher than the sticky, okay? So what that means is this can never be above this. So if you decide to use a fixed position, just be aware that it will always be above the sticky position. So how do we fix this? Simple math. I know that this is 92 pixels high and the spacer at the top is 16. 92 plus 16 equals 108. I need 108, 108 pixels of padding. I'm gonna strain it to the bottom so that way it stays fixed, because I am gonna move the top of it up. And the way that these subheads are built is they're basically built like a button. It's auto layout containing text, but then I wrapped it in another auto layout because I knew I would need padding that was transparent. So I have my subhead, it's constrained to the bottom. I would like it left and right in case we want to stretch this out. 108 pixels of padding. I'm going to do the same with this right here. Left and right, just in case we want to stretch it out. Remember that I set this one to the bottom constraint because I wanted it to stay still when I was adding some top space. So if I undo this, and now I set this to, well, we do want that left and right, but if I set that to bottom, and now I add the 108 pixels, we're good to go. And now when we check this, it stops exactly where it needs to be. So we know that fixed is greater than sticky. What we also want to understand is that the order matters. If I put this here and we do this, it will move, but it will not cover it up. Order does matter. And that's how you have sticky headers, sticky subheads, sticky footers, all while keeping everything in auto layout. I hope that helped, and I know auto layout can be a little tricky. If you have any suggestions for tutorials that might help you in the future, please leave them in the comments. Please like, share, subscribe. Bye friends.